All right, Shalom. And first and foremost, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, who taught me this truth. Shalom to the 144,000, first and foremost, and the rest of the elect. It's your brother Tabaya Yakunah coming at you with a quick lesson in Lord willing. It's edifying. Today is what they so-called is Easter, okay? And it's a so-called holiday. Holiday is broken down into holy, which means set apart, and day. There's nothing holy about this day, because the only people that are deemed to be said to be set apart to be holy are the Israelites. Israelites don't celebrate Easter. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, also those that are scattered throughout all the nations that may look like the nations, may look like the heathen, may look like a so-called white person or a Chinese person or African. Hey, y'all ain't supposed to be celebrating Easter. So let me go ahead and jump right into some scriptures real quick. This is the book of Acts, chapter 12, Salakia. Let's go to, book of Acts, chapter 12 and verse 4. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison. This is talking about actually verse 2. Acts 12 and verse 2. So like verse 1. Okay. At the top. This is the book of Acts chapter 12 and verse 1. Now about that time Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church, and he killed James the brother of John with the sword. And because he saw it would please the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread. The days of unleavened bread goes into the Passover. Verse 4, this is the point. Acts 12 and 4. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. And you see that there's the word Easter there. But when you go into the word Easter, it's not what you think it is. It actually goes into the Passover. All right. So we go into the word Easter. It's G3957, and it's Pascha in the Greek. It says of Chaldee origin. Chaldee, the Chaldeans were the Babylonians. Let's grab something on the Chaldeans real quick. Who the Chaldeans were. All right. And the Chaldeans, just real quick, they were basically like witches and warlocks of ancient Babylon. Okay. See, I had something pulled up. If I can find it. Come on now, stop playing with me. Let's see if I can find it real quick. It's on that guy question. Yeah. Dang it. All right. Bear with me for a second. It says this is a gotquestion.com. It says, kidding me? What's going on, man? All right. It says, who are the Chaldeans in the Bible? And just going down to the last paragraph, it says, at the height of the Babylonian Empire, the Chaldeans were an influential and highly educated group of people. Some historians believe that after Persia conquered Babylon, the term Chaldean was used more often to refer to a social class of highly educated people than to a race of men. The Chaldeans influenced Nebuchadnezzar's decision to throw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the fiery furnace, Daniel 3 and 8, and well known as wise men and astrologers during the time of the Jewish captivity. We know that to be the Israelite captivity in Babylon. It goes through some scriptures. It says, at the time of Daniel, Babylon was the intellectual center of Western Asia, and the Chaldeans were known for their study and knowledge of astrology and astronomy. They kept detailed astronomical records for over 360 years, which can help us understand how the wise men from the east would have been able to recognize and follow the star that would lead them to the king of the Jews, which that's Yahweh Shai. So, the Chaldeans, heavy witches, warlocks, all about the signs of the stars and following astronomy and astrology and, so-called magic, all that stuff. All right, it says, going back to the definition of Easter, it says the Passover, the meal, the day, the festival, or the special sacrifices connected with it. Easter, Passover. So they do this purposely. Esau likes to muddy the waters with a lot of this stuff, man, because he's trying to hide himself. He's a fugitive and a vagabond, as the scriptures state. Esau would says that his punishment was too much to bear, man, and which was he got marked, with that leprosy, which is a lack of pigment, Well, he came out that way already, but let's go to it. Let's go to it real quick. Punishment is too much to bear. All right. Because Esau got blessed with the sword, which he uses to the fullest. The scriptures speak about him being in his, how he was loose for a little season to deceive the nations. And part of his deception is his sword, his military might. It's also his religious might that goes. This all goes into the three unclean frogs written of in the book of Revelation. I believe that's what's that. Let me see something. Unclean frogs. Yeah, 16th chapter and the 13th verse. All right. Spirit keeps harping on that, man. Hey, those unclean frogs give a lot of power to this beast system, which is NATO and the EU. Right. So I'm trying to find. Right, Cain, Salakia, Cain. This is Genesis 4 and verse 13. And it says, and Cain said unto the Lord Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. So Esau is the reincarnation of Cain. You know, just like Cain slew his brother Abel, Esau is out to slay his brother Jacob. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. And again, you know, he's blessed with the sword to do so. Blessed with the sword and the fatness of the earth. Genesis 4 and 14, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. Right, he's got that mark of leprosy, lack of pigment. All right, and it was a big punishment, you know, for slaying his brother. And Esau bears that same mark. But getting back to this Easter, you know, hey, this devil twists the minds of the people through his wine and his philosophy, you know, and one of it being this unholy day, Easter, which goes back to really goes back to the Queen of Heaven, man. If you look up Easter, you know, you'll get Ainana, which goes to like the Ilnana, if you're familiar with that. See, that Esau twists up a lot of these words, man. You know, it's not always straightforward. This plus this equals that. You know, he'll twist up words and twist the spelling up to try to throw the scent off. But hey, we got the spirit, and we know this devil. We know that's the big thing about knowing your enemy and knowing who this devil is, man. You know that what he's gonna do. You know, you understand his backward thinking, his twistedness, man. Because in this we're soaked in Babylon, you know. So we understand. We know the wickedness of this place. We know people lie and cheat and steal and murder and how much more so these religious factions that Esau set up on the left hand side through his three unclean frogs, man. That ultimate religious faction, the false prophet, the Roman Catholic Church, man, which they get a lot of their trickery from the Chaldeans. Okay, and in the early